I can't believe you said that. The message popped up on my screen. It was a risky message to send in the first place, but fortune favors the brave, I thought to myself. You know what made you smile. Go on, deny it. I hit send and waited. Shame you can't do that for real. A smile creeps across my face as my time spent messaging SkilletFan94 was finally paying off. Who says I can't? We've been talking for months now, and it's insane we only live 2 hours apart and haven't met in person yet. It's not like you are actually some 40-year-old guy, is it? Is it? Haha. I know how to wind her up, with relative ease now. The message was meant as a joke, but also pressing on the idea of us meeting. Okay, let's do it. Let's meet. Although the message is digital, I can still sense the hesitation she feels. Throughout the course of the night, I continued to reinforce the idea I'm not some crazed serial killer, and I just really wanted to see the woman I connected with while on some mundane Facebook group amongst the comments section. It was almost 3 AM, and we had finally ironed out all the details of us meeting that weekend. 3 days away. Then we called it a night, promising to continue in the morning. Morning came, and as promised we arranged the last few details and who to look for when we finally met at the train station. Although we had exchanged photos, the idea of someone turning up who looks nothing like the picture had crossed both our minds, and we had made that very clear. The day came, and I sat nervously in my car, within view of the platform of the train station waiting for her to step off. The 2:45 to Reading, eastbound, was running on time. As the train pulls into the station, I edged forward in my seat. She was so beautiful in her pictures. Long blonde hair, not natural, but suited her perfectly. Electric blue eyes that could stop a man in his tracks. Long, slender legs, many a time I had dreamt of wrapped around my waist in throes of passion. The passengers began to exit the carriages. As the last carriage empties and my suspicions of her standing me up were almost confirmed, she steps into view. Instantly, I could see she was not as tall as she told me she was, but I didn't mind. I liked them smaller. And her hair was more a moussey blonde, now not really platinum, but I can look past that. Maybe she needs to just re-dye it or something. In fact, as she walks off the end of the platform, along the path and past my car, I can see that her eyes are almost a dull gray. Not so much electric blue as I was led to believe. All in all, she still looked amazing, and I just had to have her. I waited until she was past the back of my car, and I opened the car door. In one sweeping motion, I wrapped my arm around the side of her head, nestling her mouth and nose in the handkerchief I had already had in my hand, soaked in a potent yet sweet-smelling liquid. As her body goes limp, I open the rear passenger door and gently place her on the seats. Looking around, I get back into the driver's seat and make my way to the little cottage we had booked a few nights before on one of those last-minute websites. She hazily regains consciousness, shackled to a chair in an empty room, the pleasant wallpaper and indents in the carpet betraying the memory of where furniture used to be only adds to the panic-infused hysteria setting in. She wants to scream. She wants to move. She wants to be anywhere but here. The rolled up fabric rammed halfway down her throat ensues she will never scream. The cold steel handcuffs already digging into her wrist ensure she will never move. As the door opens and she sees me standing there for the first time, wearing nothing but the blood and sweat from God knows where, I ensure she will never be anywhere but here again. A few hours later, I emerge from the little cottage freshly dressed and ready to set off home. As I get into my car, I smile as I look back at the cottage. I'm going to have such fond memories of our time spent here. The things I did, all the promises I held up on my end. The crying, the muffled screams, the begging through tears and a broken jaw. I maybe took things a little far, admittedly, towards the end. No one should suffer how she did in those final hours, but I was just so excited and well. It was our first date. I wanted to impress you. I left you there, in that room, and used your card to buy another few nights at the cottage. You deserve the uninterrupted rest. As I got home and settled down into the living room, I fired up my laptop and signed into Facebook. I guess these things don't last long. Short little flings, but oh well. Scrolling through Facebook, I began to look for the right kind of comment. Someone to strike up conversation with. Someone unattached and engaging.
Where were you?
An instant message pops up on the screen. My blood runs cold for a moment. What do you mean? I type back. Surely it can't be.
I was late getting to the train station, so I had to catch a later train. Then my phone died, so after waiting for an hour and you not showing up, I headed home.
This has to be a joke. A smile creeps across my face. Maybe today wasn't our first date. Maybe today was just a test run. I'm so sorry. Can we reschedule? I'll make it up to you.